Hi there, everyone. My name is Sarah Bustamante. I'm your TA for the Laboratory Anatomy 1 course. I just wanted to go over, uh, I'll probably make two videos really quick. The first one is going to be over the syllabus, and the second one will be about how to access your Pearson, only because I'm getting some emails in, and what I like to do instead of like individually replying to all the emails and all the same questions is just make a video on it and clarify what's going on in the course. Um, but the syllabus has been up, the instructions on how to um, access your Pearson have been up, so hopefully you've already done so. But if not, if you're still confused, that's okay. We're going to go through the syllabus line by line right now, and in another video, we're going to go through how to access your Pearson. So I just want to get to it really fast. Let me go ahead and share my screen. And I do want to say thank you to those who have been really patient with me. I do get sick pretty often. I had two major surgeries over the break. So I do appreciate people that are patient with me. Please don't get frustrated with me. I promise you guys, this is a really great course. It's gonna fly by. You'll see with the grading policies and some of the leeways that we do that it's pretty easy to get an A in the course. I hardly really get any B's, and I hardly ever get any C's. And then I get a couple F's just from people that never did anything, right? So that's expected. But you do all the work, and you'll probably get an A. And so don't stress too much over this course, and just keep on track. That's really all my advice. So again, this is the Human Anatomy Lab 1. I have nothing to do with the lecture course, right? That's a separate course that you registered for altogether. Um, the lab coordinator is Dr. Aldalway. She's the person in charge of me. She's the person in charge of all STAs teaching anatomy, but anatomy 1, but more than that, she's in charge of the people teaching anatomy 2, some zoology labs. Um, I think she teaches a couple of the lecture courses as well. She's got a lot on her plate, so make sure that you're contacting me, right, and not Dr. Aldaway. She's just not gonna. Well, she knows the course really well, but she's not going. She's gonna refer you to me. So instead of just going in a circle, just email me, and hopefully I can clarify things. If not, I'll make a video. The other thing that I do is make announcements on Blackboard. So be sure you're checking Blackboard all the time, especially for my announcements. Okay, so the first thing I want to say is that there's required lab material. There's two options on how you can do this. You can get the one that's really advisable, right? It's in bold, it's underlined, and that's the $119 one. It comes with the e-text, that's why we prefer it. And then that text kind of correlates with your assignments and your quizzes and your exams. However, you don't have to get the e-text if you don't want to. If you want to just spend the $75, you can do that. Again, we don't really like this option because, you know, there are no lectures. This is a 1 credit course. There's no weekly lectures. There's no PowerPoints, anything like that. So your e-text is your resource for the assignments and things. But if you feel like you can go to the library, get a pretty decent anatomy book, especially with Anatomy 1, to help you with the assignments, and or Google, right? The internet nowadays is a good resource to help you with the assignments and the quizzes and the exams, and help you learn the material, in other words, then you can opt for the $75 one. And this is especially if you have like an older brother or sibling, something like that, that already took the course and they have their lab manual still. So, you borrow it from them or you buy it from them at a much cheaper cost, or you find it somewhere cheaper. And it winds up just being 75 instead of the 120. But those are the two options. You do need the Pearson account. Like, there's no way you can do the course without it because it has the assignments. They'll be uploaded within Pearson. So without the assignments, all the assignments are worth 25%. You're already doing yourself a disservice by not doing the assignments. So you have to do the assignments. So you have to get Pearson. If you still haven't accessed Pearson, again, I'll make a separate video for this, but one thing that I do want to note already is that you don't need an access code. Pearson and Blackboard are going to be linked together in this anatomy lab. So you will access your Pearson through Blackboard, and we'll go over that in the next video. If you haven't noticed, this course is online and we're not meeting up in a lab. We're not, there's nothing like that. It's up to you on how you want to, what days you want to kind of specify for this course and learning the material. However, there is a schedule. There is a weekly schedule, so we'll get to that at the very end where it's listed. Okay, and this course is broken up into assignments, quizzes, and exams. So let's talk about the assignments. The assignments are weekly assignments. They open up at 8 a.m. on Monday, and they are due on the following Sunday at midnight. You'll find these assignments again on Pearson, which is linked through your Blackboard. So you will not see the assignments on Blackboard, but you will see them in your Pearson account. And you'll see a pattern. Everything, the quizzes, exams, assignments, everything is always opened on Monday at 8 a.m. and closed on Sunday. Something you will see on the assignments, especially through Pearson, is that it's due on 2 a.m. For your assignments. It's on Pearson, it says that it's due at 2 a.m. But that is taken into account that it's on Eastern Standard Time. Pearson automatically sets the time zone to be Eastern Standard Time, but if you know, El Paso is in Mountain Standard Time, so this is midnight El Paso, right? I get a lot of emails that are like, oh, I thought I had 2 more hours. Why did it just lock me down? Why did it kick me out of the assignment? It's because it's midnight at El Paso. It is midnight, right? It's 2 a.m. elsewhere, but it's midnight in El Paso, which is stated inside the syllabus. Everything's due midnight that Sunday. So don't think that you have those extra 2 hours. You don't. And more than that, you had from 8 a.m. that Monday all the way till Sunday at midnight to do the assignment and finish it and complete it. So when you're asking for 2 extra hours at the very last second, it's kind of frustrating. So, and I'm definitely not awake at that time. So I won't see your emails about how you got kicked out and it's 1 a.m. in the morning. So just do your assignments on time. No late work will be accepted. The reason for this, or an extension of assignments, cannot be done. And the reason for this is that I cannot go in to Pearson and extend it. I cannot go in and reopen it. I do not have the access to do so. I do not have the access to do so. And Dr. Aldalway has her foot down on it. She will not reopen them. She will not extend the deadlines. More than that, I think she works with the Pearson account person from Pearson, and they set up the course accordingly, and they set these deadlines pretty much in stone. So it takes a lot of technical issues and things like that to reopen them. It's not like just a button I can flip on, and I don't have access for them. So when you miss an assignment, it'll grade maybe whatever you got done. give you partial credit or whatever, but more than likely, if you completely missed it, then it's a 0. So don't let that happen. That's where we get people getting Fs for no reason. Just do the assignment best you can and do them in the allotted time. I know that you guys had an assignment or have an assignment coming up, right? I think there's actually 2 assignments. They're pretty quick. I think it's like the language of anatomy and something else. So make sure you've already started working on that. It's due Sunday at midnight. Get used to that. Write that down in your calendar. Things are due Sunday at midnight, assignments, sometimes quizzes and exams, right? But with that also being said, with this first one, I know a lot of people having trouble with Pearson. A lot of people, I don't know, didn't read the syllabus or anything like that, or the instructions for Pearson. So email me if you're having trouble with that first assignment, and we can talk about it. But yeah, let's try to finish the assignments in the allotted time. Okay, the next section of the syllabus goes over the fact that there's kind of this discrepancy between Pearson and Blackboard. So what winds up happening when you finish your first assignment, Pearson will give it a grade like 94% or 100% or something like that. And then it'll automatically get uploaded in the grades in Blackboard. Remember, they are linked together. But Blackboard grades on a point system. So if you need an example of how that kind of ratio happens, there's an example here that you can read through. But if you got 100% on the Pearson, then you got the 100 or the ratio, the equivalent of points, right? If the assignment was worth 21 points, then you got 21 out of 21 on Blackboard, right? So it's kind of strange. People like will email me and say like, well, why did I get a 21? I got 100% on the Pearson. Well, it's because it's points now. It's a 21 points, 21 out of 21. So you didn't get 21%, you got a 21 points. So just keep that in mind. There are some discrepancies for when you have to round, but that's never really an issue. And if it is, go ahead and email me and we can talk about that. One of your assignments, just one of them, is a physio exercise assignment. This one is a little different in that it has, it's more of an activity. It has some short answers to it. And the reason that we bring it up is that I do not have access to go into Pearson. It's kind of frustrating, but I do not have access to go into Pearson and view what you wrote as a short answer. After you submit it, I cannot see it. I don't know how to grade it. Pearson won't grade it because it's a short answer, it's not multiple choice. So what you have to do on this one assignment, and I'll point it out in the course schedule, but for this very first assignment, is anytime you see a question with a little pencil on the side, I believe that's the icon, and you had to write up a short answer, you're going to need to take a screenshot or copy and paste it into a Word document or save the assignment as a PDF or grab your phone and take photos of what you wrote down and email me your answers. So that way I can read what you wrote and I could grade you accordingly because I do get the answer. I do have the answer sheet so I can grade you, but for some reason I cannot go into Pearson and I cannot see what you graded. But we only have to do this one time. I know in Anatomy 2, I taught that last semester. There was like 5 or 6 of these assignments. So it was so many emails and a lot of grading, and it was pretty frustrating, but we only have to do this one time. The rest of the assignments, I believe, are multiple choice. They're not physio exercise assignments, so they get automatically graded through Pearson. You'll see your grade right away. These ones take me a little while to grade, so you'll have to be patient for that. And just keep that in mind. And I'll remind you in an announcement for this assignment. So again, the course is made out of assignments, quizzes, and exams. So let's go over quizzes. Again, they are open on 8 a.m. on Mondays and due the following Sunday at midnight. They are bi-weekly. Every 2 weeks there's a quiz. The quiz will consist over what we went over the last 2 weeks. So they start on Monday the 15th. It'll go over probably these first couple chapters that you are doing right now. I think it's like language of anatomy and some other things. And I'll make a quiz. Your lowest quiz is dropped. Something that's not in the syllabus that I see is that, well, something that I do want to point out really fast. Sorry, I skimmed through that. You can take the quiz at any time during this week, but what you cannot do is like start it on Tuesday and then get back to it on Friday. No, you need to choose a time in that week and make an attempt for the quiz. And it won't let you go back in other words. And they're about 20 minutes long. Sometimes you can probably get them done quicker than that. It says use of the lockdown browser is up to me. We will not be using the lockdown browser in this course. And my little spiel on that is that you're college students now. It's really up to you on how you want to learn, right? We're not in high school anymore. No one needs to say like clear your desk and make sure your cell phones are put away, things like that. And I feel like the lockdown browser just puts a little bit of added stress to the situation, especially if you're getting test anxiety. So if you're really interested in educating yourself, you'll learn the chapter, you'll do the assignments, you'll do them on time, you'll really comprehend what's being taught, and then you'll do the quiz without anything on your desk and really, quiz yourself on what you learned. But again, we aren't using the lockdown browsers, so it is up to you on how you want to do these quizzes. Something that's not put in the syllabus, but I want you to note, is that there is going to be 2 attempts for the quizzes. Meaning, okay, you quizzed yourself, you put all your stuff away, you quizzed yourself, and you did pretty bad. Review your notes, go back and review your notes and go back in and test yourself again. And it will take the higher grade attempt. And the other reason we do this is for technical difficulties. Let's say you started the quiz, your Wi-Fi went down. I know how it is. I have so many siblings. I have 5 brothers. My mom's working from home. My dad's working from home. Everyone's on the internet at the same time. That Wi-Fi crashes all the time. So let's say you're starting in the quiz, your Wi-Fi crashes, it locks you out, whatever. You'll have a second attempt. So make sure you do it at a time where no one else is on. Maybe you go to the UTEP library, something, so that way you know that you won't have any technical difficulties and you can get and again, it'll take the higher graded attempt. But I'll only allow for 2 attempts. If you had issues again, chop it up to bad luck and let's move on. Hopefully you got some points in and let's move on to the next quiz because if not, then I get all these emails like, oh, I need a 3rd attempt, I need a 4th attempt, and so on, till everyone just gets hundreds on things, and it's really because they want a perfect score on the quiz and they want so many attempts to do it. So that's not really fair. That's not really the purpose of quizzes. So just keep in mind that you have 2 attempts. They're every 2 weeks. We won't be using lockdown browser, and your lowest quiz will be dropped. So again, if you're having technical difficulties, even after that second one, that's probably going to be the quiz that you drop. So there's a lot of leeway in these quizzes, and I think that's pretty fair. So again, the course is made out of assignments, quizzes, and the last part are exams. The midterm is going to be on March 22nd. Again, it is open at 8 a.m. that Monday, and it closes on that following Sunday. Okay, so this does not mean that you can go in there, start it on Tuesday, and then like exit out and then finish it on Friday. Remember that. So whatever time you allowed for this exam is when you want to start and finish it. They're approximately 2 hours, but you can probably do them pretty, quicker than that. The quizzes and the exams are done all through Blackboard. The assignments are done through Pearson. So remember, you will see it on Blackboard, probably a little folder that says quizzes, another folder that says exams, and you'll have your midterm there and your final there. They will be posted on Monday at 8 a.m., closed on Sunday, right? Again, we will not be using Lockdown Browser for the exams. And again, you will get 2 attempts per exam. So you will get 2 attempts to do the midterm. Again, this is for if you have any technical difficulties again. And if you feel like you didn't do so well on the first one and maybe you want to try again on the second attempt, by all means, please do so. Your final is on the 3rd. It opens on the 3rd at 8 a.m. and closes that Sunday on the 9th at midnight. We won't be using Lockdown Browser. And it won't be open before the schedule either, because that's how exams get on the internet and everyone has the answers all fast. So you have that whole entire week to do something in case you have some event coming up on midterm or finals week. You should be able to find a period or schedule your time for that exam. And that's what makes up the course. The grade distribution is that the assignments, all those assignments are worth 25%. The quizzes are all going to be worth 25%. The midterm itself is 25%, and the final itself is 25%. So the exams make up a lot of the course, but don't be scared. By the time you're done with quizzes and assignments, you should be really prepared for this exam and for the exams and do really well. And if you feel like, oh, all the assignments only worth 25%, I can miss a few, it catches up to people at the end of the semester. I always get people who are like, oh, I missed 2 or 3 assignments, I missed a couple quizzes, and it causes their grade to be pretty bad. So again, if you do the work, you'll do really good on the exams and you'll more than likely get an A. And we follow a pretty standard grading scale where, a 90 and above is an A, an 80 and above is a B, your C's are in the 70s, D's 60s, and F's is 59 and down and below. But if you have any grade disputes, go ahead and email me. You have till May 5th to work it out. It does happen every once in a while, especially when I have to manually grade something, so like the short answers. And it's more than likely just a typo on my end. Like I meant to put a 90 and I hit 80 instead, right? So, it happens. And we will more than likely work it out between ourselves before we have to go to Dr. Aldawe. But if in the case that it's something serious, we can go to Dr. Aldawe, no problem, and the 3 of us can discuss it, probably in a Zoom meeting or something. I want to highly suggest or highlight this part of the syllabus, and that is that there's no makeups, especially for quizzes. Again, if one of your lowest is going to be dropped, you get 2 attempts. There's really no excuse to completely miss an assignment or a quiz or the midterm or final. Like this is pretty unheard of. So just keep that in mind. I can't go in, I can't reopen things. It's really not up to me. And then we have the last bit, which is things that are, typical of your syllabus. So academic integrity. If there's any copying and pasting, if there's any, academic dishonesty, I have to report that to UTEP. It's part of my job. You can get fired otherwise. And so I'll do it, right? I'm going to save my job. Uh, eh, but also, this goes back to what I was talking about. We're in college now. You should really be honorable with your academic career, right? That's how you make mentors in your upper level classes. They like people who think independently and aren't so dependent on Google and things and other classmates and things like that. So start getting those habits in, keeping yourself academically honest. Um, this next part kind of reminds me of when we were in class. Because if we were in class in the labs doing the activities, I would ask everyone to put their cell phones away, clear out their desks, and we'd focus on what the activities were for the day or the quizzes or anything like that, as to not disrupt the class or disrupt your fellow students or anything like that. But it still kind of relates to this online um, method of the course, right? Again, you're in college, you signed up for this course, you want to learn about anatomy. Do yourself the favor by putting your phone away, putting the video games away, maybe sitting at a desk instead of your bed, or if you're comfortable. I mean, I do a lot of my work in my bed, so um, if you're comfortable at the dinner table or whatever, clear it out, focus on what you're learning, focus on the class material, and get ready for the quizzes and things. That way um, you're really learning it and you're doing yourself a favor. Again, I'm not there to see you. I don't peek through webcams. I wouldn't even know the tech to do that. So this is up to you guys. But just keep it in mind, right? Some suggestions there. If you need any accommodations or support, you would contact the CAS system or the CAS services. And so in other words, you don't need to email me directly. You could email CAS, and then we wind up getting an email from them that gives us details and keeps majority of the information under anonymous kind of behaviors and things like that. So that way uh, we don't, we're there to support you, obviously. So if you need any support services or anything, email Cass. That's the best way to do it. You can email me if you'd like. So different now with online, right? There's there's not much it's different. If we were meeting in lab, there's certain protocols that have to follow and would love to follow, so that way you feel supported and welcomed into the lab. But yeah, if you have this issue, you can go ahead and contact CAS and they'll contact us. Same thing with the military. If if you have the potential to be deployed or anything like that, you can go ahead and email me and we can work something out. Maybe you want to take an incomplete for the semester, or maybe I would honestly push to say like, "Ooh, you're almost there. You got like 3 quizzes and exam." We would work something out, right? Again, let's move on to the course schedule. But I do want to point out that here is my information. My name is Sarah Bustamante. My email address is scbustamante@minors.utep.edu. I kind of wish that this was at the top of the syllabus. I didn't make this syllabus, Dr. Aldalway did. But here it is. And again, contact me with your questions. If you contact Dr. Aldalway, she is just going to refer you to me. So I highly suggest that you just skip that circle and just go straight to me. So here is the lab schedule if you haven't looked at it. You should have looked over the syllabus by now. You should have looked at the lab schedule. So we'll go over it pretty quickly. That first week, you were in charge of reviewing the syllabus, trying to set up your Pearson account, and you can do that by looking over the registration that was posted, the instructions there, and that there was no assignment. And then we have this week coming up, right? So things were open already that Monday at 8 a.m. They will close this Sunday at midnight. So make sure you do your homework or your assignments by midnight at Sunday. It says 2 a.m., but it's not 2 a.m. And what it is just like an introductory. This is only 4 points. I mean, look at the other assignments. Again, they're not weighted equally. Altogether, they wind up being 25%, but this little assignment's like 4%. Look at this one down here. It's 245 points. So this assignment should be quick. Should skip through it pretty quickly. And then the next one that is due also on Sunday is the language of anatomy. The reason that we put these two together is because this one's just kind of getting you used to what Pearson, how like Pearson asks its questions and things like that. And that's why it's only worth 4 points. This is really what the assignment is that's due on Sunday. It's the language of anatomy. So what does it mean to be distal or proximal or anything like that? And it's due this Sunday by midnight. The next thing I want to point out on this course schedule is that the following week, so after Sunday, everything's due, Monday at 8 a.m., this physio exercise will open. And this is the one that you guys have to take screenshots or save as a PDF or get your phone and take pictures or whatever, because it's going to have short answers. It's going to be more of an activity. You're going to have to send me what you wrote in order to get points. So keep that in mind. It's 56 points. You do not want to lose out on all the short answer questions. The next one after that, I do want to point out the rest of the chapters are all on Pearson. There's no more physio exercises. You don't have to send me your answers after that. But what I will say on the 15th is your first quiz, right? So what this quiz will go over is the last 2 weeks. So week before that, we went over cell transport mechanisms and permeability. And we also went over, language of anatomy. I wouldn't even quiz you on this stuff. Those are the 2 chapters that I'll quiz you on, is language of anatomy and cell transport mechanisms. Okay, it's kind of confusing because you see the chapter 9, but this just is telling you that, okay, this week we start chapter 9. It'll be for the next quiz. So on quiz 2, March 1st, it'll go over the skeleton, right? And the appendicular skeleton and the axial skeleton. So those are the 2 chapters that'll be under quiz 2, and so forth and so forth. These are just your typical assignments. The ones that are higher up, they tend to have a lot more questions. So give yourself time to do these assignments. We have spring break. After spring break, we have the midterm that opens up. The midterm will only go over, well, this makes sense. We'll go over these chapters, right? The chapters that we went over right now from March 8th and till the beginning. Then we continue, right? New chapter every week. And we get to the 4th quiz, which will go over the last 2 chapters, and we go over the final. And I want to note that the final will only go over what we went over April 26th all the way to the 29th. Everything before the midterm, I won't test you again for the final. So it'll be like almost like a second midterm, right? It'll just go over the second half of the course. That'll be the final. Important dates to remember is that there's no class on Cesar Chavez Day. I mean, it's an online class anyways. but the university will be closed probably. There's a course drop deadline. This would give you a W. I really, 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 really like, I'm not really allowed to tell you if you should take a W or if you should not take a W, but because it's up to you and what you want to do academically. But I really suggest not to ever take a W for a 1 credit course because there's really no reason why you shouldn't get a B or an A. Really, you should be getting an A at the end of this course. So there's really no reason to drop this course, and that's just my take on it. Um, Again, note that faculty initiated drops will not be processed, so I can't drop you from the course. Um, the 2nd, there's a study day or Good Friday, so there's no class. And the 7th of May, there's no class as well. So again, these are online classes, but just to know, in case you're planning to go to the library or something like that, the university is probably closed on those days. So that is the first video. We went over the syllabus line by line. I hope that clears things up. Again, there's no lecture. It's just going to be the assignment, those every 2 weeks quizzes, the midterm, and the final. If you have any other questions, you can email me now. But I think that clears up a lot of the questions I was getting in my email. And if not, the next one about how do you sign up for Pearson. If you haven't done so already, we'll clear that up as well. So good luck in this semester. I wish you all a well and easy semester. Hope everyone's staying healthy and safe and not feeling too burnt out. And it's nice to meet you all. Okay, bye.